This is Eric from Pack Hacker, and today we're going to be talking about the Goal Zero Flip 12 power bank, which I've been testing for the past 2 weeks. Let's dive in. So starting with the external materials on this little power bank, I wasn't able to find exactly what it is made of, but if you kind of tap it and feel it, it's like a hard metal on this part here. You can kind of see the color difference between here and here and here and here. And this is kind of more plasticky. It might be a really thin metal, but this feels a little more plasticky, the same as the thing that comes out here. Feels a little more plasticky, but this feels like kind of like a hard metal, so I assume that the battery is under here, which is protected by the metal, and then we have the plastic where the charger and the acceptor there, the USB-A acceptor there is. So nice construction. This material, there's nothing really on there right now, but it can get scuffed up a little bit. But what surprised me is that you can clean it off, even with just like a rag. If you do get a mark on there, it cleans off pretty easily. And because it does have a matte finish, it doesn't really, take fingerprint smudges or anything like that. And if they are there, you really can't see them. If you look real close, you might be able to see some discrepancies on the material there from fingertips and the oil on your skin. But overall, it looks very nice. We do have a pretty big Goal Zero logo here. It almost makes it kind of look like a vape or something like that. But apart from that logo, and then obviously there's like the FCC warning and the recycling information on there. Nothing else to note. There is a small, I'm not sure you'll be able to see that with the glare, it says press right there, and if you press that, on the opposite side here, we have these LED indicators that tell you how charged it is. Obviously, you have 4 indicators, so each is 25%. Something that I did notice that I'm not sure why it bothered me so much, but this stays on for a kind of a ridiculous amount of time. And obviously, that's not going to eat the battery away too much, but that's being powered by the battery here. And as you can see, it's still on. And if you're in a dark environment or like you're trying to go to bed and you're using this to charge while you don't have access to power, see it just now turned off. It is kind of bright, if you're in the pitch black. But obviously this works without, you don't need a cable to charge it. You just have this here, which can plug if you have a laptop with a standard USB-A. I know most MacBooks do not have that now, but you could also use a standard power brick to plug into, or what I used most often was in the car, just with this car charger. So you just plug it in, wrong way, 50-50 chance. And then you plug it into your car, or if you have a wall charger, you plug it into the wall. And something I did like, that I guess it'll depend on which charger you're using, is it can sit flat. Like right now, it'll dangle, which isn't ideal, but if you flip it, it's gonna sit straight. So depending on where the plug is and where you're plugging it in, you can kind of fit what meets your needs. Like if this was in the car and maybe this is above a cup holder, you could sit it like that, so it would sit in the cup holder. Or if you just want it to stick out, you can stick it like that, which is nice. You can't really, this just doesn't have any locking points. So it's either here or here, which if you wanted it to be at an angle or something like that, I'm not sure why you would want, you can't really do that. But if it is setting on something, it'll hold it there. The design really, it reminds me of, if you remember the first iPod Shuffle that had the little thing that popped off and you could just stick it into the computer to get your music. That's what the design reminds me of. But it comes in at 2.55 ounces or 72 grams, which is pretty light, and as you can see it in my hand here, it's pretty small. We tested recently this clutch charger here, which is the thinnest charger we've run into, and you can see how much thinner it is. And this comes in at 2.2 ounces, and this at 2.55 is really not that much heavier. And this feels more natural in my pocket, to be honest. This has a lot of surface area, so when it's in your pocket, or if it's in your back pocket especially, and you sit on it, you can really feel it because of all that surface area. But this, it almost fits into your pocket like an old school pack of gum. It just kind of slides into your pocket and you don't really notice it. Or if you have, like this is a commuter wallet I've been testing, or if you have like a travel wallet, it'll still fit in there nicely and it doesn't take up a ton of room in there, and it's not too bulky. You could also fit, probably if you wanted to, your charging cable in there too. So it really does fit a lot of places, which is a really good perk of this power bank. And another good perk of this power bank compared to something like the clutch we were just talking about is it has 3,350 milliamp hours of charging, which for a standard iPhone 13 will actually get you more than a full charge. If you're using your phone, obviously that will be negated a little bit because you're using juice as you're charging it. But we'll go through just a quick fire list of what that will get you. It'll get an iPhone 13 to roughly 103%, an iPhone 13 Pro Max to 76.9%, a Samsung Galaxy S21 to 83%, a Samsung Galaxy S21 Plus to 69%, an S21 Ultra 5G to 67%, and then you could even use this to charge your Nintendo Switch if you wanted to, and that standard Nintendo Switch would get to about 77.7%, and the Switch Lite to 93.8%. So for most standard devices, you're going to get about a full charge from this. Some of the larger phones and the Pro Max model iPhones and stuff like that, you're going to get just under, but you're going to get pretty close to a full charge, and you'll even get a pretty substantial charge for something like a Nintendo Switch. Some cords, phones don't come with a USB-A, or maybe you're used to, USB-C, so that is a little bit, I don't want to say outdated, but for some people it won't work as well, and you might need to buy a new cord. But because it is so small and fits into your pocket so nicely, it could be worth upgrading your cord or downgrading your cord depending how you see it. When compared to other chargers we have on hand here, this is probably the one that I think fits in your pocket the best here. Obviously you're going to get much more charge out of a bigger power bank like this Anker one, but if you were to try to put this in your pocket, you're really not going to have a good time. It's going to be bulky and kind of in the way, and even putting it in your pack, like this just would barely fit in here if at all, but you're not going to have much room for anything else in here. Another one with this is about the same size as BioLite one, but it is wider, so if you want something that can fit in your pocket so you don't have to bring a pack with you, this will be a little bulkier in your pocket and won't be as comfortable compared to this that just kind of slides in. And then this Anker charger here is about the same surface area as the clutch, but it does have about the same width. So this is kind of the best of both worlds if you ask me. It's not super wide, but it has that small form factor that can fit into a pocket nicely. Or if you're traveling and you're minimalistically traveling, or you're one bag traveling and you just need something for when you don't bring your bag, you can throw this in your pocket and bring a cord with you as well, and you're all set for the day. You'll have a full charge here. If you leave the hotel or Airbnb with a full charge on your phone, you should be all set for the day. So there you have it, the Goal Zero Flip 12 Power Bank. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. We'll see you in the next one.